Ladies and gentlemen, good evening wherever you are. Once again, thank you for taking your time to be part of this great channel. In this video today, I want to talk about the planned visit of His Excellency, the President of Kenya, His Excellency Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta, who is planning to visit Kenya not alone but together with the Right Honorable Raila Amolo Odinga. Now, the reason why this is very interesting is because after the handshake, there has been a lot of rumors that Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta could not afford to walk with Raila Amolo Odinga in his backyard. In one of the talk shows, Minor Commander, one of the aspirants in the Nairobi senatorial seat, and a man who is believed to be a very great confidant of Uhuru Kenyatta, Maina revealed in Kameme TV that Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta is planning to visit Central sooner than soonest, at least to traverse the whole of that county or the whole of Mount Kenya province with Raila Amolo Odinga. And this has elicited a lot of questions. And one of the questions that people are asking is, why now? We want to try and explain why Uhuru has chosen to take Raila to Central now. But before we do this, if you're watching this channel for the very first time, please take a moment and subscribe to this channel. You can like my page and share this video as far and as wide as you can. Tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend to subscribe. For those who have already subscribed, thank you very much, because you are giving me the kind of support that I need. Once you subscribe, YouTube will notify you when we do another video like this. Now back to the main gist of the video. Why is Uhuru Kenyatta looks ready to take Raila Amolo Odinga to Central, which he could not do in the past? My number one reason is this: that Raila Amolo Odinga has climbed the mountain alone. Remember, there were claims by the Ruto allies that Raila Amolo Odinga could not climb the mountain, that he was not sellable, that the Mount Kenya people could and would not accept him. And Raila Amolo Odinga took his time, planned with the very governors that support him from Central and a few MPs who support him, to go and mount a successful campaign in Central and Meru, the larger Meru. Raila Amolo Odinga gave the story of how Mzee Jaramogi Oginga Odinga and who was his father, and Mzee Jomo Kenyatta, who is the father to the current president of Kenya, how they used to work together, how Jaramogi Oginga Odinga was approached by the colonial masters to take power, but he declined and demanded for an unconditional release of Mzee Jomo Kenyatta. In his campaigns in Mountain, Raila Amolo Odinga explained to the youths who are seen to be the largest supporters of Dr. William Ruto. Raila Amolo Odinga explained to them how in the year 2002, Raila sacrificed his ambitions and supported Mwai Kibaki in the famous Kibaki Tosha. And so he tried in a way to explain to them that his side, the Luos, have always sacrificed their ambitions to support the Kikuyu. Remember, I'm saying this without blinking because I've always told you that our politics is largely based in our tribes and ethnic groups. And so, as he went round, that was his message. The people from Mount Kenya who were helping him to campaign, people like Honorable Kimemia, told their people that they crafted a narrative to malign Raila Amolo Odinga as a mganga, as a person who is always disturbing and bringing chaos to the government. And Mr. Kimemia and the other Mount Kenya friends of Raila Amolo Odinga explained that now it is time to tell their people the truth, that actually Raila Amolo Odinga is a good man. And Kimemia went ahead to explain that they orchestrated this plan because they wanted one of their own to ascend to power. And so, after a successful series of rallies that was attended, each and every rally was attended by a massive crowd, and it culminated in what we may call the launch of his campaign in Thika. You remember just how successful that meeting was? The people attended in their numbers, senators and governors, all the politicians. In fact, one of my friends was joking around saying that perhaps we were given pictures of Kisumu and we were deceived that it was Thika. But I want to believe that Raila Amolo Odinga was in Thika. And therefore, Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta will be going round with Raila Amolo Odinga as a man who has gone round, greeted his people, and they have welcomed him. And so it is not going to look like he is introducing him in Mount Kenya. He left him to do it alone, so that as he goes with him, it is like he's going to thank the Mount Kenya people for accepting his handshake partner Raila Amolo Odinga. The other point that is closely related to the first one is that Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta can now go to Kisumu alone and receives a resounding and a warm reception and a warm welcome. You remember just the other day, before Raila launched his campaign in Thika, Uhuru went to Kisumu in what was explained, quotes in quotes, as an impromptu visit. He went up to Mbita, where he campaigned for Raila Amolo Odinga. What Uhuru is trying to tell his people is that after the handshake, the country is peaceful. And he's telling them that, look, I can now go to Kisumu alone without Raila Amolo, and they will receive me. In Obunga, for example, in Kisumu, Uhuru Kenyatta, before the handshake, could not even dare, even in his wildest dreams, he could not dare to visit Kisumu. But right now, he visits Kisumu and the people calls him Baba. And therefore, Uhuru Kenyatta will be very happy and much comfortable going together with Raila Amolo Odinga, because he will tell them, look, I was in Kisumu the other day and they received me. And therefore, receive my guy, receive my friend, because the country is peaceful. And the kind of message that Raila Amolo Odinga is preaching now is that each and every Kenyan has a right to live, to do business in every part, any part of the country that he chooses to. In one of the mega rallies in Eldoret, Michika Linturi said, you remember the Ondoa Madoadoa thing? Raila explained and actually dared them to try this kind of mischief of Ondoa Madoadoa. And therefore, this is also resonating well with the Kikuyus, who are largely seen to be part of the Rift Valley residents. And so when Raila told them, try, it is like he was telling them that the Kalenjins don't ever think of messing up with the other communities, and especially the Kikuyus who are living in Rift Valley. And therefore Uhuru will be very much comfortable to go with Raila Amolo Odinga, present him, showcase him as a man who is now like an angel, a man who has been converted, a man who has been baptized from what they had said he was. They actually tarnished his name. Number two, the other reason why I think Raila Amolo Odinga will accompany the president to Central is this. Apparently, you remember that William Ruto and his brigade was selling this narrative that Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta has neglected them, that the Jubilee government was largely made up of the Kalenjin and the Kikuyu community. But they were selling this narrative that projects and goodies are going to the other parts of the country like Nyanza, Coast, and all the other parts except Central. And so one of the things that they kept on mentioning, and it was resonating well with the Central people, is the issue of agriculture. You know, most of Central part is fertile, and they engage in coffee, tea, and pyrethrum farming. And they reminded the farmers that the government had neglected them. And the first thing that Uhuru did was to do a reshuffle. And remember, who is at the helm of agriculture today? You know that that portfolio was given to our own friend from Meru, and he is at the helm. And so they made sure that all the problems that the farmers, all the predicaments that the farmers were going through were well taken care of. Electricity and all the roads that they claimed had been neglected were completed within the period as Uhuru was preparing, so that Ruto and his camp would have nothing to campaign against them. It was very interesting that in some of these projects, Raila, as he was campaigning, as he was going around, he launched some of them. He was supervising some of them. It was like the president was telling them that in this period of handshake, I've had a smooth sailing, and my brother has helped me to achieve some of these projects. Just to add something on top of this, Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta has said severally that he gets a lot of admonition, a lot of advices, pieces of advices from his handshake partner Raila Amolo Odinga. And therefore, the timing is now, because as he goes around, he tells them that, look, we have peace. But this man who has brought peace in this country also advises me on what to do. And if he can advise me, then what more do you think he can do on his own if he becomes the president of Kenya? You remember the last holiday when Raila Odinga was given a chance to speak, and the president alluded to the fact that Raila had sent him to go to, is it Ethiopia or which country, to look at what they had done. They had constructed a structured museum, sort of, where they keep the artifacts and historical tools that someone can go and study to know where they have come from, rather. And so the president is going with Raila Amolo Odinga as a confidant, an advisor, a person who has helped him basically run the government. The projects are complete and no one will be asking him, where are the roads? Why haven't you given us subsidies on seeds? And why is the prices of our products down and low? So he has done all this and he has prepared the way. Number 3, in my opinion, is that the reason why he delayed, he took his time, is that he was still studying William Ruto and the kind of politics that William Ruto was conducting in central Kenya. These people have worked together. And you know, William Ruto is like a go-getter. He is very much aggressive. Remember when they were campaigning together with the president? Whenever the president tried to explain anything, William Ruto would come up like the president has not explained it satisfactorily. He would say, let me help you, Mr. President. We will do it this way, we'll do it this way, we'll do it this way. And so the president is a man who is kind of very quiet. When he does his politics, he's very patient. And when he decides to act, he acts when he has all the facts. Remember, he's the commander-in-chief of all the armed forces in Kenya, and he receives intelligence reports, and he knows what to do. I therefore feel that he gave William Ruto time to exhaust all his skills, his styles of playing politics. Remember, they went to, for some by-elections, and William Ruto won, and he was thump-chesting, or chest-thumping, for that matter. And so, when he unleashes his machinery now, he knows very well where to start from. William Ruto perhaps has exhausted. There's nothing new he can offer in Central. He keeps on repeating himself now. Maybe it is the bottom-up economy. He talked about dynasty and he abandoned the dynasty thing because he knows now in the next 10 years, if his child or his son will contest, the son will be dynasty or the daughter. And now he's talking of the hustler. There's nothing new William Ruto can offer in Central. And therefore the president knows how to handle him now. For example, perhaps the intelligence report has shown him that maybe ever since Raila Amolo Odinga started the race, perhaps the support is changing. Raila Amolo Odinga perhaps has maybe 30% from the 5% that they were talking about, and maybe people are now questioning why William Ruto is saying that he will do this and that. Why can't he do this when he's the deputy president? All these things perhaps the president knows, and therefore when he goes there, it is easy to convince them that the right man is Raila Amolo Odinga, and he can now handle William Ruto effectively. Unlike before, if he had gone there prematurely, perhaps the reception wouldn't have been smarter as it's going to be when he takes Raila. I also feel that the other thing that makes Uhuru very much comfortable to take Raila to Central now, taking him in the sense, you see, Raila has gone there alone, but taking him in the sense that Kenyatta is still perceived to be the kingpin, the Kikuyu kingpin. Even though Ruto raided his bedroom, but it is like he's now getting it back. Now I feel that the other reason why he's comfortable taking Raila Amolo Odinga is the factor of other tribes. Raila Amolo Odinga is being received overwhelmingly in all the other parts of the country. Remember the rally, a successful rally that he had in Buhungu Stadium, the rally that Francis Atwoli, the Kotu guy, the Kotu secretary, organized. It was successful and they welcomed him. If you saw Raila in Coast, it is like he has locked Coast. And so it is like the president is taking this message to his people that we cannot be left out in the next government. That Raila Amolo Odinga is being received well by other tribes. And therefore, you cannot be the only tribe that will reject an incoming president. And it is like he's telling them that Raila has locked his place. Remember when William Ruto went to Kisumu and Migori when they were with Obado, the current governor of Migori, and people thought that perhaps Obado can help him get some votes. He called the rallying call of UDA and he told them, when I say UDA, say kazi ni kazi. But every time he called UDA, they told him ODM. And therefore, the president is like telling them that for the period that I have been, it is like he stepped aside because there were claims that, he's coming to coerce, to cajole us to support someone we do not want. So for the period that he stepped aside, it is like he's telling them, you can see for yourself that Raila Amolo Odinga is a man of the people. That Raila Amolo Odinga is a man who is loved in the whole country. And therefore is giving them this message that please don't be left out because other people are with him. You remember where the over 30 governors that assembled and declared their support for him? A governor represents a county. And if we have 47 counties and Raila commands over 30, including those who are not expected to be there, people like Amason Kingi, who tried to take on Raila head on, and it is like he could not take the hit anymore. It is like Coast is locked. It is like they are telling him that if you want to form your own party, form it, but you'll be there alone. And so Amason Kingi was there. People like Kivuda Kibwana were there. And so it is like the president is telling them, you cannot walk alone. My last point, which I think is very important, is the launch of Azimio. I have got this feeling that the president tried, or so he sent his emissaries to try and find out whether Raila was sellable using ODM and the orange t-shirt. It seems it was not possible because to the central people, the Kikuyus, ODM is like the devil itself. This orange shirt is like Satan himself. And so they had to change tact. When William Ruto said that he did not support tribal parties with tribal chiefs. He suggested that they should have one big party, the UDA, and he wanted anybody who joins him to abandon his party and work with him. The intelligence of Uhuru Kenyatta and Raila decided that we are going to accept all the parties as long as you support the presidency of Raila Molo Odinga. You can fill your own candidates in the other seats, be it the governor, the senatorial seats, women rep, member of parliament, and the county assemblies. Remember, people like Kiraitu Murungi have their own parties, the bars. Moses Kuria has his party, and there are several parties in Central. DP is still there, and so it's like the Central people did not find it easy. It didn't augur well with them that they should ban their parties, abandon them, and join one big party. Because in politics, people look at the future. You remember the president and Raila Amolo Odinga had to bring the changes to be done in parliament. The changes were actually conducted in parliament, and it was very much heated. The Tanga Tanga group claimed that they were being forced, but the Azimio, those who are supporting Azimio, told them that this is a game of numbers. You bragged about your numbers. Let us see your numbers. Very many parties, you remember the predicaments that the smaller parties in NASA had, the problems in so far as distribution of the money to the smaller parties were. They had to amend this, and this had to be anchored in some law so that someone does not deal with you. You don't depend on someone's mercy. In fact, even the smaller parties will have a share of a cake when the money is being distributed. And so the president can easily and safely go to Central because he is no longer selling to them the ODM and the orange shirts. He will be talking about Azimio la Umoja, and he will be telling them, bring all the parties in one basket. Unlike our competitors, who are telling you that we should now ditch our parties, ban them, and join one big party. We have allowed you, and this resonates well with the Central. Remember, Martha Karua has a party. Remember, the former cabinet secretary for agriculture has a party. Remember, the governor of Meru has a party. His closest competitor has a party. There are several small parties in Central Kenya, and therefore they will come to Azimio with a lot of expectations, and so the president is going to sell Azimio. He will tell them, support my handshake partner, but elect your own governor. Vote for Raila Amolo Odinga, or you can vote for your own member of county assembly. My last point, the last but not least, is the entry and the endorsement of Raila Amolo Odinga by the Mount Kenya Foundation. You see, you cannot underestimate the influence of the Mount Kenya Foundation. These are rich and very influential persons in Central. When they sneeze, the country must understand and must freeze. These people indirectly will influence the voting pattern in Central. The youths listen to them because they can fund, they can show direction. And so, after the endorsement of Raila Amolo Odinga by the Mount Kenya Foundation, remember, our president is also a rich, a wealthy, and an influential person. He is going as a businessman who is also going to add his voice into that which has been spoken by the Mount Kenya Foundation, that this is the right guy. He is able to take care of our interest. Raila has been presented to them as an impeccable, spotless angel who will take care of their businesses, who will take care of their farming systems and their farm produce, and therefore Raila will easily be accepted in Central. We were looking at reasons why the president has chosen to take Raila Amolo Odinga to Central now. Those are my thoughts. You could have other thoughts. Let us keep this conversation going. What do you think I have left out? Let us keep on this communication. If you're watching the channel for the first time, please subscribe, give a thumbs up, like it, sambaza video. Kindly share this video as much as you can. Call a friend and tell a friend to keep on listening. When you subscribe, YouTube will automatically inform you when I do another video like this. Until such a time, keep on checking for more videos. Remember, we are in a political season and we must talk politics until we get the new leaders into office. And even after that, we will still be looking at them, whether they are fulfilling their promises. If you have not taken your voter's card, or you have it but you have not verified your details, please, it is your responsibility as a Kenyan citizen to arm yourself with the voter's card and make sure that you vote on that day. If you don't, you will have no right to complain for the bad governance, if at all it happens. You won't be able to complain about your member of county assembly. You can't complain about the senator, the governor. Please take charge and make sure that you elect the right people in the office. Thank you very much for taking your time to be with us. Bye.